Yeah, a historic evening. It looked like a party. It was a party, and that is where our correspondent Richard Walker has spent the evening. He joins us now from Philadelphia. Good evening to you, Richard. I understand you've got someone from the Bernie Sanders camp with you.
That's right, Brent. We're speaking here with some Bernie Sanders supporters. Here is David Berg, who's a Bernie Sanders delegate from Salt Lake City in Utah. He was one of the people, as you can just see, wearing the fluorescent yellow shirts in the convention center just earlier. Their kind of visual protest during Hillary Clinton's speech. David, thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
What did you think of her speech?
I thought it was the same old thing in the same wording, and nothing has changed. She still refused to speak out against TPP. She still refused to speak out against Palestine or against fracking. And she also refused to acknowledge that there have been dirty tricks from day one in this campaign, and it was never a fair fight.
So some of those key Bernie Sanders issues there, TPP, that being the big trade deal between the United States and Pacific Rim countries, the issue of Israel-Palestine, and the issue of fracking for gas, an environmental issue. So, David, you were part of this visual protest. Were you heckling in there? Were you some of the voices that we heard sometimes trying to interrupt the speech?
It wasn't trying to interrupt the speech per se. It was responding to what was not being said on stage. The things that were being omitted, we had to speak up and bear witness and tell them that enough is enough and we're not going to take it anymore.
So enough is enough being the slogan on the T-shirt that everyone has been wearing. So, David, looking ahead to November, you've got a choice to make. Are you going to vote for Hillary Clinton? Are you going to vote for Donald Trump? Are you going to vote for someone else?
Well, I'm going to vote for the candidate in the race that best reflects stated Democratic Party values, which is Dr. Jill Stein. I'm with her, Dr. Jill Stein.
Now, Dr. Jill Stein is the candidate of the Green Party, and a lot of Bernie Sanders supporters, Brent, that we've been speaking to here this week in Philadelphia. That's a name you hear tripping off their tongues. Those who determine not to vote for Hillary Clinton, some of them won't vote at all. Most of the others are going to go for Dr. Jill Stein. Just before we toss back to the studio, David, tell me a little bit quickly why you like Jill Stein.
She, as I mentioned before, she embodies the stated principles of the Democratic Party and the Green Party because she does say no to TPP, which undermines democracy and the environment and workers. She says no to fracking. She says that we must address the occupation in the Middle East, which fuels so many of the problems in the world. And yeah, so she embodies what we've always wanted.
So heading back to you in the studio, Brent, there. So there's a flavor of the sort of hardcore Bernie supporters here.
Richard.
People who have not been won over by Hillary Clinton, and that could be a concern for her.
Richard, can you ask your guests just a quick question because we've got time? Bernie Sanders said this week to his supporters, to the delegates, that he understood their position, but that they had to be realistic about the political system, and that at the end of the day, Donald Trump must be defeated. Can you ask him, is he willing to accept a Donald Trump presidency being the result of people voting the way he's going to vote?
Absolutely. Good point, Brent, because that is a big worry on the Hillary side. A question coming from Berlin for you, David. Bernie Sanders himself has essentially said it's essential to rally behind Hillary Clinton because otherwise Donald Trump could win the presidency. Are you willing to take the risk that Donald Trump will win?
Well, there's a couple of different points to that. Number one, I don't think that there's much chance Donald Trump will win. I think that Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton are the most mistrusted and disliked candidates in American history. We offered the Democratic Party a candidate that has been shown will easily beat Trump in November. They turned us down. And so it goes on to November. I think it's going to end up a two-person race between Dr. Jill Stein and Gary Johnson. And I'll be proudly voting for Dr. Jill Stein.
Okay, David, thank you very much for that. So I'm not sure everyone looking at the opinion polls right now would agree with that prediction, but it's one that we'll definitely keep an eye on at Deutsche Welle. Just over 100 days left till the election. But what is absolutely true is that a lot of people are interested in watching those third-party candidates, Jill Stein and Gary Johnson for the Libertarians, saying that with such unpopular main-party candidates, that both of those candidates have a good chance to do pretty well this year. Back to you, Brent.
We told them a vote for Hillary now. We told them that a vote for Hillary now is a vote for Trump in November. They went with their vote for Trump in November by voting for Hillary today. It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Okay, with that, back to you, Brent.
All right, Richard Walker there in Philadelphia, getting we could say one of the more colorful and unexpected takes on tonight's speech by Hillary Clinton. Richard, thank you very much.